we had the Hurricanes watch that Down East Heating and Air sponsored. Started in September, and just ended. Basketball goes every month, but maybe 2. I used to think that baseball was the longest, but baseball's nowhere near as long as basketball and hockey. Football season is pretty long too. Actually, probably racing is probably the longest.
What do you think? Golf is in there too?
Oh, well, golf's
I don't
year
know if
round.
you.
Even when they're not on actual tour events, they're playing something.
They're playing somewhere.
And we're on the eve of what? The most wonderful time of the year.
Football season?
Football season.
Not yet. It's not quite.
2 months.
We don't want to waste our summer away yet.
2 months.
Yeah, these teachers are like, man, don't.
Well,
give us-
we got
don't
the final
these
leg.
teachers are going. We ain't even got out of school yet. You want us to have football season, which
Well,
means
we got the
we're back in
final leg
school.
of the Triple Crown this Saturday to Belmont
Yep.
Stakes.
And I heard that what is it? Mystic Dan is the
Mystic Dan.
He
won the Kentucky Derby.
What do you
Caesar
call it?
Gray
Favorite,
won
yeah.
the Preakness, and I don't know who's going to win this last race.
Well, did you hear about my bet on the the main one, the big one? That thing.
What are you talking about?
The Kentucky
horse
Derby.
race. Kentucky Derby.
Kentucky
Why can't I
Kentucky
think of that?
Derby, yeah, what about it?
Okay, I had $50 left in my DraftKings where they gave me all them free bets,
Uh-huh.
So I put $50 on Sierra Leone or whatever it's
Wow.
called. That much. That much. And it would have paid like about $2,000. That much.
That close.
Because the horse racing pays a lot if you pick the winner.
Yep.
And there was 3 of them right there. There was the one that won it, and then Sierra Leone and another one, all within that much of each other. And you want to conspiracy theorists. You want to say, okay, it's got to be rigged to be that close. How can you make a horse that close? You know what I mean? Now NASCAR, you could have the guy up there controlling and slowing one down, because NASCAR's had about 3 races this year that's been like that.
Real close, yeah.
It's been awesome. We're getting ready to get into our racing report when we come back from break. Have you heard our racing report yet?
No, that's new.
It is. We had it the last 2 or 3 weeks. Onslow County Motor Company sponsors it. And racing is a
Coming
big
back.
deal in cards, too. isn't
Coming
it?
back.
Well, actually, I missed the Stenhouse report. If you did that a couple weeks ago, I would have loved to.
The right hook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what is the hottest thing in cards right now or collectibles right now? I know that the
would tell you,
WNBA is probably.
It wasn't but a few months ago. I said Victor Wembanyama, the 19-year-old French guy with Spurs. That was early in the season. He's still hot. He's still the hottest.
And what was that? And he have you seen the pictures of him walking through the airports? So tall. I mean, he stands like a sore thumb. You gotta hate it for them guys. You know that their income is based on all the popularity, so they're celebrities and all that. But so this will be the final one.
Saturday, yeah.
So there's no chance of a Triple Crown winner.
No.
It was 2 separate winners.
So
I know
this is
you
the
keep
lunch
up
a
with that
mile and a
stuff.
half.
Now, do you dress up and everything on Kentucky Derby Day?
Oh, yeah, wear a bow tie and everything.
Do you really?
I've been twice.
Dude, there's a crowd down there at Swansboro that every
Oh,
year
yeah.
gets together and meets at the yacht club or Yanni's or somewhere, and they do it to the nines
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So you've been to the actual Kentucky Derby?
Twice.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely happening.
Was any one of the major winners, like Triple Crown winners at the time or anything?
1978 Triple Crown winner.
You were there in 78?
I can't remember
Wow.
what was his name.
It wasn't Seattle Slew, was it?
No.
Yeah.
Secretariat?
Alidor. I can't remember the name.
And that one won the Triple Crown?
But the funny thing about it is they start racing about 12 o'clock. They have 5 races
Yeah.
in there before the Kentucky Derby. And I went out there with a buddy of mine that worked on the tobacco market, Lindsey Hardy. And they got programs like who the sire is, the dam, the mother and daddy, just like football programs and everything. And of course, they got the odds out there. Well, Lindsey saw this guy in the stands that he knew. He said, "This man knows a whole lot about this horse racing. Let's go talk to him and see what he put some money on some horses." So he went
Inside
over there
scoop.
and he picked 3 races. He picked the first 3 races. He said, "This horse is going to win this race." The next race, this horse is going to show, which means comes in third. And the next race, this horse is going to come in third. Well, I watched the first three races, and he was right on.
Wow.
And the fourth race, he said, this horse is going to win the fourth race. So I go to the betting window up there and everything, and I don't know, odds or something like, 40 to 1, this horse is going to win the race. When it got out of the gate on the back turn, this horse was 100 yards in front of the rest of them.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah. Come down the back stretch on the way home to the finish line. You know where he finished?
Last.
Dead
Dead
last.
He couldn't-
Did they have to
Couldn't hold.
shoot him?
I
'Cause
could outrun him the last 100 yards. He was slam out. But,
was he ready for the glue factory?
What is it?
He would get out, man.
Ashley, you got win, place, show, and last.
Right.
Okay.
Can you actually win something for the
Can
one
you
that finishes
bet-
last?
Can you bet?
Let me
yeah.
tell you something. People are addicted to that stuff out there, man. They got people that can walk around barefooted. And when people, they lose and the race is over with, they just throw the
Yeah.
on the ground, the ticket that they had.
Well, what happens if a race gets appealed or something, or if somebody gets, one of the winners
line
gets?
up and everything, and
Does that change anything?
Sometimes it does. But anyway, they got people out there that can walk without breaking stride and turn them tickets up and read the numbers on them without even breaking stride.
Wow.
That's how
Oh,
addicted they
wow.
are to it.
They've been doing it for years. We're gonna take our first break here on Sports Talk. When we come back, we'll have that NASCAR report that we talked about. So we'll be right back.
Then he threw it.
Hey, welcome back to
Out of
Sports
it.
Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rayner. Friday, June 7th. We got a card crazy Tom Hatchel, card lunatic Tom Hatchel. We'll call him.
We could go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that because you are head over heels in it and you know your stuff.
You got to be crazy to do this.
If people want something, all you do is come to you. I've had 2 or 3 times where I said, look, I'm going to see this guy. I need a Randy Hood, minor league card from the Birmingham Barons back in the mid 90s. Next thing I know, in 5 minutes, I'm down there at Twice as Nice, and I've got it in my hands with him sitting there, a picture of him and Michael Jordan next
Listen,
to each
Chris
other.
can attest to this. He's seen the wall of cards. He walked in and
The
said,
wall
"Oh
of
my
cards.
God!" You want to tell him how many cards are back there on that wall?
I couldn't count, at least 6,000 card boxes.
Well, see, that's the thing, too.
And that's just one row.
That's
Really?
half a million easy.
Well, every collector's different. What's your big thing you're into, Chris? In the card world, we don't know. You don't know your personal stuff.
Strictly sports.
Okay.
I do have some NASCAR. I don't do any non-sport trading. Cardinals fan and Raiders fan.
Raiders.
Wow.
Hold on for a
Hold
second.
on before we get to that. Because he
you
said
go
NASCAR too, and we want to finish this NASCAR board.
Yeah.
I will go down a rabbit hole pretty quick.
No.
Yeah, believe it or not. Last week they were in Chicago, Madison, Illinois, I think is what it's actually called, but suburbs of Chicago for the 300-mile race. It was Austin Cindric in the number 2 Ford. When y'all think number 2 Ford over the years, what do you think?
Rusty Wallace.
Rusty Wallace. I remember that Elvis
Miller
car. That's
Lite.
one of my favorite collectibles I ever got. It may not be worth a dime, but just to have that Elvis on that, what was the old, what was his sponsor? Oh, it was Miller Lite.
Miller Lite.
The Miller Lite Ford. Denny Hamlin finished second. Denny's having a good rebirth, which I say rebirth, but he never really left. He was one of the last holdovers from that group. He was kind of, early on when Earnhardt and all them were leaving and everything, and Mark Martin and all them, they retired, and Dale Jarrett. But Hamlin's the last holder in a Toyota. He finished second. The number 2 Ford finished first. Brad Keselowski, he's had a good little run here in the last couple of races.
Yes, he
Won a
is.
race. He's in the number 6 Ford. When you think number 6 Ford?
Mark Martin.
Mark Martin. Tyler Reddick in the 45 Toyota. When you think the number 45 Toyota, what do you think?
I don't.
You don't? Tyler Reddick. Exactly. Joey Logano in the number 22 Ford. That rounds out your top 5. Our NASCAR report, or racing report, actually is sponsored by Onslow County Motor Company. We also have some good local track racing. Carter County Speedway. I know the New River All-American Speedway's got something going on this weekend, just the normal races. I talked to Robert Drum, so that they've got some big stuff coming up, but for now it's just the local heat-type races, things like that, But those local tracks are cool to go watch at because you can get right on top of the action. Have you been to either one of them, Carteret?
I have been to Carteret. It's been a while, but I've been there. I've actually met Donnie Allison there.
There at Carteret?
Yep.
I remember years ago, John Boy and Billy were there. They've had NASCAR drivers, Tony Stewart. And, of course, about 2 months ago, they had Little E out at the New River Speedway, and they said it was – I can't remember
I
how
had
they
several
said
people
showed
come
up.
see me for that, and I thought, there's no way you're going to get an autograph. Yes, they met him, and he was
He
such a
autographed
nice
everything
guy.
smoking.
So can
Everything
I back up?
from women's chest to
Yeah,
racing cars.
I heard that. But Tyler Reddick, is he?
Don't look at me like that.
I want to
Ashley.
go back to this Tyler Reddick
All right.
because when you said, "What do you think of?"
And how does this all
And
tie into the car
I'm
world?
going to show you. It's
All right.
very easy. It's Tyler Reddick's vehicle, his team, Michael Jordan's team, Denny Hamlin's team.
I don't know.
We can pause. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
His card number is what?
23.
No.
45.
Bubba's
45.
23. 45. What number did Jordan wear playing?
When he came back.
45.
45.
There
See,
you
that's
go.
how it's all tied into it.
And speaking of which, the number 23 boat has arrived. Have y'all seen that on Facebook?
You going fishing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Catch 23. Well, I didn't even realize. I was thinking catch, like
22.
fishing catch, but he's tying into that catch 22 thing. Okay, so every time you see a boat name, there's always something tying it into the water and other stuff. The best one I saw a long time ago. This was on the internet though. I didn't see the actual boat. Was the letter A, SEA, a lightning bolt. The letter D, SEA, ACDC, but the C instead of the C.
I think I've seen that.
That's
That's
pretty
pretty
neat.
hot.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And our buddy Tim Foster, he came up with a good one. You'll know what his is for his boat?
What?
School skipper. but it's SKOOL.
I missed it. Where is it? I
So
didn't
it's,
see it.
hold
no
on,
more.
follow me now. It's SKOOL and like skipper. So he's skipping school because he's retired from principal, even though he's gone back. He was skipping school and the school like fish. He's the skipper of the boat. So
Okay.
that was a pretty good one Tim came up with. I think he stole it from somewhere. But
I
Tim's
missed
not
it.
that
We
bright.
don't never see him anymore. Where
He
is
works, man. He's
Work.
gone back to work. Now
Okay.
they're getting ready to get out for the summer, so he'll be hanging out some more of the
Congrats to Dave Miller on retirement. by the
Yes,
way.
that's coming up. Congratulations to the Jacksonville Cardinals ladies soccer
Soccer
team.
team. How about that?
Next week, we're going to try our best to have the soccer coach on live in the studio next Friday as our guest. So we're looking forward to that. Either her, Dave,
That's a big
somebody.
deal. That's a big
That
deal.
is. They were
Lady-
awesome to go up
lady
there and
Cardinals, yeah.
take care of business and penalty kicks.
Mhm.
Now, do you have any Jacksonville High School soccer cards?
I do not.
Not quite yet.
Not yet.
So, what about like college stuff? Now the NIL stuff is going on. Has that changed anything with any of the card companies or anything? Are they doing college cards now?
So they are doing college cards, Bowman's Best. So there's products out there where you can go and buy, and you're going to get them in their college uniforms.
Now, who's your NASCAR driver?
Hey, great question. It is right now. I mean, I used to be Little E,
Yeah.
Earnhardt Jr. Right? I guess I kind of like the most favorites, but I don't forgot his name. Man,
He must mean a lot to you.
he does. He's my favorite.
It was like me with Kentucky Derby, as big as that is. I
Yep,
couldn't
I
come up
wanted
with
to. I
it.
wanted to call it Ryan Blaney.
Ryan Blaney, yeah,
He drives for
and the 12, yeah,
yeah.
Penske.
So I like him, but I like a lot of them. So if
Yeah.
I had to pick one, that's why I struggled with real quick. It's like, man, that's you put me on the
I think
spot.
Blaney would be mine
and,
right
and,
now.
and I like Ryan Blaney. You know, I like Elliott. You know, I like a lot of those guys. But if I had to pick one right now, I'm going with Blaney.
And even though they're second generation, like Elliott and Blaney, they're still those NASCAR names. Now, who's your driver, Chris?
I like Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, because
I
he's
always
been
liked
around a
watching
while.
him. He has been around.
And I say rebirth, but he never left. But he's starting to get that swerve back on again.
He wins. He's in top 10 quite a bit. So I just enjoy watching him race.
All right, now he's not the one that Stenhouse tried to punch.
He didn't try to punch.
Or he did punch.
did
It was
punch.
Kyle Busch, right?
I want to get a card made of that.
That would be a good card.
There's a guy that was on the internet that actually took a screenshot of it and was talking about like this needs to be a card.
Yeah.
Because he has a club that hates Kyle Busch, right? So
Well, there's a lot of those.
I know,
Yeah.
right? So I think it's great for the sport, though.
The
I asked
the
you off
floor
the air.
recognizes Ashley Mosley.
Yeah,
Go
thank
ahead.
you. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Floor. You know, they got the professional card playing poker tour and everything. And I asked you off the air, and you said they did. They have cards with those poker players on it.
They do, yeah, they sure do. I've seen them. I've actually had one or two come through from a collection or two that I've seen. I don't own any, but they're not hard to find.
Okay.
Bowling, they have bowling.
Bowling?
Yep.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they got bowling too.
Well, now, all three of you guys have been around sports a lot. I've been around sports a lot too. Do you ever think a sport comes down and says, look, we got to jazz things up a little? Can't somebody get in a fight or something like this? Because it seems like NASCAR's had a little more this year than they've had. You had 2 or 3 dust-ups this year. It wasn't just that one. That was the best one.
Well, they got a whole circuit that does that. WWE, WWW,
Oh,
Raw,
yeah,
they're
but that's-
fighting all the time.
you know,
Well,
that's-
that's big.
I
in my
remember
house.
Kel
All right,
Yarborough.
I hate to break it to you, Uncle Tony, or whoever you are out there that thinks it's real. It's scripted.
All right, we're gonna need to turn this off now. I can't believe you just said that. All right.
I
It's
remember
We're,
Kel
entertainment.
Yarborough.
hey, we are big fans in
talking
my
bad
house. We
language in
watch
front
every
of Tom.
Friday night, Monday Night Raw, Friday Night Smack. We went
Right
to
now, your son's
went
out
to
there on the
wrestle-
couch going, what?
Oh, he's angry. He's fueling
Oh,
right now
yeah.
because we went to WrestleMania in
My
Philadelphia.
granddaddy, he was on Friday night with Rip Hawk and Haystack Calhoun. I mean Saturday night.
Haystack Calhoun.
He would get so mad. He believed he was real. He would get so mad. He would have to walk out in the front yard
And
cool
get some
off.
air in the wintertime.
He would, I mean,
You
he
remember
was
Dusty
into it.
Rose and that bionic
Oh,
yellow?
yeah, yeah.
He'd sit there and do that thing, didn't
Haystack Calhoun.
he? Do that strut around.
I can tell you've seen it more than once.
Oh,
That
many
was
times.
Almost a perfect
Andre the
Many
Giant.
times.
He had a ranch, a little farm in Ellerby, North Carolina.
Dusty
did.
Rhodes.
Yeah. Mhm.
He passed away, didn't he?
Andre
Yeah.
the Giant. Yeah, he did.
and
all.
Dusty.
I know Honor Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dusty. Yeah.
Do you remember the part? And you may have one of these cards.
Mm.
What part did Andre the Giant play in a TV show?
Oh, I saw him. He was this big guy because he's 7'5", so of course.
Played Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, he played.
You're thinking. I know what you're thinking of the movie or whatever.
The movie.
Where it had the little midget. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Can I say that? The little person.
I immediately
understand.
followed that with yes.
But yes, you should have seen Robert Drummond here that day when they started talking about how he was racing. He started out racing midgets, and I went, "Wait, little people." Anyway, sorry, I apologize.
So-
But anyway, he was on. Remember, he was on the $6 Million Man as Bigfoot. Do you remember that?
I do. Yep.
And that was such a. It's on what's that service called now? Pluto TV, where you see all the old reruns and stuff, and you go watch it now, and you're like, man, when I was a kid, I thought this stuff was like the bomb.
I know
Now
one
it's
thing
just
about him.
kinda
He could
cheesy.
walk anywhere in the world and never fear being assaulted by anybody.
He's a big dude.
Oh no.
Now, they had a dude recently in You're familiar with wrestling?
Yeah.
The Great Khali.
If not, my expert's right around.
Wasn't
the
the
corner.
Great Khali just about as big as Andre
He
the Giant?
was. He was 7'4".
He was so big that he could. I mean, he could hardly move. I mean, he was so limited on his mobility. And when he get in the ring, he would take his leg and step over the top rope. That's how tall that Joker was. So now I remember going with my son to a Raw night or whatever they had at PNC one year, and man, dude, there's a whole subculture at these things. I remember seeing a family. You could tell it was son, dad, father, and grandmother. There was like 4 generations there, and they were going at it just like the Clampets were when they had that wrestling match on the
All
Beverly
right.
Hillbillies.
Look, Chris, I don't understand this, but we were in Philly. We were at SmackDown Friday night. One of the wrestlers, Jay Uso, my son can hear me, right? He does yeet, and he's doing this, and Pat McAfee, he's doing this, and we're in the stadium, and I don't know, 100,000 people there. Every single one of them. How do you get every person to follow you and do this?
Yeah.
And they're singing that song, and I'm looking around because it's been years since I actually went to one, but I'm enjoying it. We had a lot of fun, but every person in there was doing the same thing.
Wow.
And it's all choreographed.
It's like
It's not- they're
yeah,
not really
But the
hurt each other.
fans aren't. The
Synchronized.
fans just jump in though.
yeah.
And the guy that used to do the yes thing, yes, you know what I'm talking about? All the fans would be doing it at one time.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy. Okay, we got to take a break. We're going to come back with our Wood Ducks report, and that'll transition us into the card world of baseball.
Card
So we'll
crazy.
be right
sport,
back on Sports Talk.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rayner. I always wanted to talk like that. Friday, June 7th. We would be remiss if we did not say something about D-Day yesterday, all the sacrifices that our troops have made over the years. We had Memorial Day a couple weeks ago, and we talked about how that's, different than Veterans Day. That's the day of the ones that paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country. We're totally indebted to them. The reason we're not speaking German or Japanese right now is because of that crowd at D-Day. Omaha Beach.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean, the
Normally,
ones that had the guts to do stuff like that. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure that the greatest generation is gone, and they'll never be another one like them. And we owe that debt to them, and we're proud to say that we're ancestors from those folks. And as Chris said before, he had an uncle that was there that passed away recently at 96. There's not many left.
No, there's not.
And they're going at a rate that's, where pretty soon you're not going to have any World War II veterans.
But we're fortunate to live in a community that remembers those people.
Right.
We are.
Yes,
and I remember growing up having several uncles. I had a guy in our church and his cousin there were at Pearl Harbor, was attacked. And my uncle did, he was at Iwo Jima like, Chris's uncle was. And, to hear those stories, my uncle would tell some stories, but the ones that are really in stuff when they won't tell you all the details, and you don't hear a lot of boasting and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because they just did what they had to do. Thank you for that group that did that for us. All right, and that's the reason why we can go to ball games in June. And the Wood Ducks, they'll be at home again this weekend. They're currently, maybe they're not actually on the road this week. I'm sorry. On the road this weekend, but they'll be home next weekend. That's what it is. Back Tuesday, June 11th, they'll have the Charleston River Dogs. That's another good name. That's the good thing about I love minor league baseball, them names. Yeah. Charleston River Dogs. They'll have them coming in on Tuesday, June 11th. That's a 6:30 first pitch. Then Wednesday, June 12th, I can only assume this has something to do with the schools because it's a 12:05, a noon start on a Wednesday. That might be worth showing up there for. If it's cooler temperatures, let's go to that ball game during the day.
That's fine. I'll go anytime.
We'll do it. And then, of course, Thursday, which is Thirsty Thursday.
Let me ask my wife.
6:30.
I'll get off that day.
Now, the only reason I ain't going to Thirsty Thursday next week is because 38 Special, baby. They're going to be at Carteret Community College. And I've always been a big 38 Special fan. That Southern rock, the Leonard Skinner type rock and roll.
Hold on loosely, man. Hold on loosely.
That's right. Don't let go. They'll be there, so I'll be at that. But next Thursday, the Thirsty Thursday every Thursday. Then Friday, the 7 p.m. first pitch. Saturday, the June 15th. So they'll have a homestand next week, basically starting from Tuesday to Sunday. Then they're on the road for 2 weeks in a row. So the reason I'm telling you all this, the reason I've gone off on this tangent and jibber jabbering is you need to go next week if you want to see the Wood Ducks for about 3 weeks because they're going to be on the road for 2 months. We're not going when they're on the road unless you want to go. Unless you want to break out the company credit card and go to Fredericksburg, Virginia,
do all that. We'll go right to
or Delmarva. Do you know what Delmarva is?
Delaware, Maryland, Virginia.
Yes, let's do that one.
Yes.
We'll get some crab legs while we're up there. All right. So they'll be at Delmarva and Fredericksburg the next 2 weeks after next week. So make sure you go next week and see the Wood Ducks. Support them. You had asked off the air if this was their last season. Yes. There's a little itty bitty chance that. And I think that's pretty much been wiped away since then. But to start with, at the start of the year, there was a chance that Spartanburg may not have all their ducks in a row in time for the next year. But it looks like it's probably
they'll
done.
play. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I think they'll play one more year in Kinston. I may be wrong. But
Really? Well, we saw what happened in Rock Hill. That didn't work out well for David Tepper and the Panthers. So maybe Spartanburg will do the same thing and drag their feet. And maybe we can get another year out of the Wood Ducks. We want to thank, before you do that, we want to thank Downey's Heating and Air and Jason Humphrey for sponsoring that Wood Ducks report.
Thank you so much, guys. Thomas, 40 hours is twice as nice for your card store, man.
Great question, man.
Well, okay, first of all, every time I ever try to call you, you're there. So I'd say 24 hours a day.
Right.
And you did mention the quick response and turnaround time on anything you're looking for, right?
Right.
7 days a week, 10 to 6.
Hey, twice as nice.
7 days a week, 10 to 6. Someone will always be there.
500,000 cards.
If I'm not there, there is someone else there working a shift that will help you out to help you get what you need. But I'm usually there most of the time.
And you can walk next door and get some of the best hot dogs you'll ever eat in this county. at the Minuteman Mart, I guess it's called now. It used to be the Friendly Mart, but they're good. Old Friendly Mart hot dogs were good. They basically package them for the beach. You can get like 20 of them for $19 or something. Yeah, because you get them, and then I get that, and then I get my wife whatever she wants to eat. That was a joke. All right, so minor league baseball cards. We talked about the one you were able to procure for me. We're going to talk more about it when we come back on Sports Talk. Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rainer, co-host. I'm going to call all y'all co-hosts today. Co-host Thomas Hatchel, you've been here so much, you got co-host status.
Thank you.
Chris Robertson is interjecting into the conversation. He's co-host status. Ashley Mosley, of course, is co-host of the year, co-host of the century, co-host of the decade. Thank you, Ashley Mosley.
Sort of well.
It's always a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much. Always good to be here.
If you ever have something to interject and you can't get it in there, you raise your
hand like in class.
Chair will recognize
the principal
you.
will recognize.
So we're going to jump on this day in sports. All this stuff happened at one time or another on a June 7th. Maybe not Friday, June 7th, but a June 7th at one time or another. And in honor of Ashley being with us today, we're going to let him start off because it is a Belmont Stakes.
Okay. 1873, the 7th Belmont Stakes. James Rowe aboard Springbok wins the Belmont Stakes in 3 minutes, 1 second, and 75/100.
Now, did you go to that one?
I wonder what the year after that one. I didn't make that one, but the year after 1874.
Now, have you been to 2 Kentucky Derbies? You ever been to the Belmont before?
Mm.
Okay. All right, Thomas.
Okay, 1892. John J. Dole of Cleveland Spiders is first to pinch hit in a baseball game.
Wonder why I brought all that on.
I don't know. That's good to know, though.
We had a show one day where the trivia thing was this date in 1895 the catcher's mask was invented. So what do they do before then? Just a lot of broken noses. You ever seen how fast that ball comes off that bat?
Yes.
I mean, even working the Ospreys games from right behind it, we're a ways back. It's on you before you can do anything.
Can't get away from it.
So that was brilliant of somebody to invent that. All right, I got the next one in 1932 at 47 years old. Brooklyn pitcher Jack Quinn becomes the oldest player in Major League Baseball history to record an extra base hit double as the Dodgers beat the Chicago Cubs 9-2. You think that's been broken since? How old was Pete Rose when he quit?
Well, first of all, it has to be a double. Yeah, no, it wasn't Pete. I think this record still stands.
Okay.
Unless Julio Franco, Philadelphia Phillies, he was 47. He may have been
Only
double.
You would come up with that name.
Julio Franco is actually, I got plenty of his cards. He played for a long time, and he was a lot older. They never had a birth certificate or a record to prove his age. They think he was a lot older than 47 when he retired.
Well, Babe Ruth was 137 years old when he finished playing.
He's still playing.
Exactly. All right, Chris.
All right. On this day, 1936, the Yankees beat the Indians 5-4 in 16 innings. Longest game without a strike.
How do you go 16 innings without a strikeout?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Hold on.
And
Without
only
a
score
strikeout, wouldn't
five-
you think the score would be higher than 5-4 with no strikeouts? Wow. You got the other one, another one.
Another horse
Yeah,
race.
this is meant to be.
1941, the 73rd Belmont, Eddie Arcaro wins the board Whirlaway, who, by the way, did win the Triple Crown.
He did.
Whirlaway did.
Oh, yeah, it says it right there.
Okay.
Yeah, to claim first 2 Triple Crowns. Eddie Arcaro won 2 of them.
But not the same horse.
No, Whirlaway.
So can a horse race in the Kentucky Derby 2 years in a row?
3 years limited to 3-year-olds.
So I guess not.
4-year-old can't
Okay.
race.
Gotcha. Now Eddie Arcaro was around a long time because I remember that name even like in the 70s. Don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a jockey for years. All right, Thomas.
1966 MLB draft. The New York Mets pass on Reggie Jackson to select Antelope Valley High School catcher Steve Chilcote, number 1.
Never heard of him. Have you?
How'd that
Never
turn
heard.
out?
Oh my God.
Not too
Never
good.
heard of him.
So would a Reggie Jackson rookie card be worth anything?
It is worth. It is worth, and if it's in really good condition and it's graded and encapsulated like this Ricky Henderson I have here, it would be worth hundreds, maybe thousands of
Really?
dollars.
By the way, I'm glad you mentioned that because they're twice as nice in Car Crazy Sports. People can go get stuff appraised. You evaluate stuff for them.
That's correct.
And you say you do that about 3 or 4 times a week.
Yes, sir.
People coming in there. Well, great.
And you put it in that stiff container there to keep it from getting, worn and everything. And they put that rubber on it too, so it makes it where
I got to go get my.
There's so
spokes
many
on my
levels.
bicycle.
right. But that helps. Like if you were to drop it, that would absorb some of the shock,
Sure.
make it break, things like that. There was a question I had, and it popped right out of my mind. We got to talk about that thing there. Maybe it'll pop back in. Oh, Reggie Jackson. Does everyone? Don't say it's a nickname, but does everyone at the table know his nickname? You might not because it was a little before your time. You're still, young fella. What, you 21, 22?
Yeah, I'm creeping up on
Right
that.
in there.
What's his nickname?
What was Reggie's nickname? You know,
Yeah, of course I know. I need to resign my position if I don't get that right.
it's a month of the year.
And it starts
Mr. October.
And it
Mr.
starts
October,
with
yeah.
Mister. Who's
'Cause
Mr.
he
November?
came on, buddy, in the playoffs.
You
I
know-
don't think there was a Mr. November.
Derek Jeter.
Really?
That's the years when they started the playoffs going into November. He had a few good games.
I didn't realize it still made it. Went
Yeah.
to November. Wow.
Look it up.
All right. 1978. Wait a minute. It might not be me. Who did the last?
It's you.
Okay.
Yep.
1978, the 32nd NBA championship. Oh, some good names here, or good name. Washington Bullets. I don't think we can even say that anymore, can we? It's been banned from existence. The Washington Bullets defeat the Seattle Supersonics in 7 games. MVP Wes Unseld. You talk about a throwback in the day player, Wes Unseld, buddy. Just a blood and guts.
You want to
Hacking.
play center?
Yep. Big dude.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Chris.
All right. 1980 French Open women's tennis. Chris Evert retains title, beats Virginia Ruzici of Romania 6-0, 6-3 for her 10th Grand Slam singles
wow.
crown.
Wow. Now, Chris, do you play tennis?
I have played tennis, yes.
Are you a pickleballer?
I haven't played pickleball.
That's all the rage now. I was out at Bear Trail, as I will be every now and then, and they've made a new circle. You know the hole I'm talking
Yes,
about.
yes.
Somebody's put a pickleball court there already.
Yes, they
Did you
have.
notice that?
Yes.
I guess you just come down there and bring their net with them and have at it. But you can play pickleball in a room about the size of this room here. All right, Ashley.
All right, 1982, the New York Mets drafted Dwight Gooden, Roger McDowell, and Randy Myers.
That was a pretty good draft.
I remember Dwight Gooden,
Well,
Roger McDowell.
Roger
Randy
McDowell's
Myers. I don't
good.
know.
Roger McDowell's most well known for
I don't know.
Commentating.
and spitting on Kramer at the baseball game. Remember? Wasn't he the one that was the player behind the grassy knoll?
I never would have got that. 1982, Steve Garvey plays in his 1,000th consecutive game, and he goes 0 for 4.
Now, Steve Garvey, when he was up, you remember his batting stance? He looked like he had rigor mortis set in. He had just the most rigid batting stance. He didn't do any waggle, didn't do anything. But when it was time to hit, Steve Garvey could hit the ball. All right, in 1983, Major League Baseball, Philadelphia Phillies, Steve Carlton temporarily passes Houston Astro Nolan Ryan with his 3,557 strikeout. I think Nolan got his revenge because what he's got 5,000 some now.
Oh
He's
God,
reached
yeah,
5,000.
He played till he was
5714.
about 50, didn't he?
Nolan Ryan, yeah, and he was still effective till then.
I know.
He threw a no hitter in his 40s.
That's right.
Yeah. We talked about it on here before about some of the records in baseball. I don't see that strikeout record falling because the kids only pitch.
They're limited.
They don't- yeah.
Limited.
Yep.
Oh, my turn.
No, you're
Where are we at? 1989, first baseball game to start outdoors and indoors as Toronto Blue Jays Stadium closes roof during game at 8:48 and beats the Brewers 4-2.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder why they closed it at 8:48. Unless rain was coming or something, you'd think they'd have it closed when it's hot and open when it's gets cooler in the evening. All right, Ashley.
All right, the 2004 Stanley Cup Final in Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. The Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Calgary Flames 2-1 for the 4-3 series win. Tampa Bay's first ever appearance in the final.
And a lot of in the last couple of years, there's been a lot of Southern teams in the hockey finals. There was one year where every one of them were considered south of the Mason-Dixon.
Well, we got Florida in there right now.
Yeah,
Florida and
Edmonton.
Of course, Edmonton, they're a little further north, but
I'm taking Edmonton.
a couple of years ago, all four teams, because you had the team from not Colorado. It was one of the Los Angeles teams or Las Vegas or something.
Vegas.
Yeah, you had Vegas. You had Florida. You had Tampa Bay. So, yeah. Southern hockey is alive and well. By time for Hurricanes to win another Stanley Cup, though.
Let's do it. 2009. Is it on me, by the way?
I think so.
Yeah. 2009 French Open men's tennis. Roger Federer wins his only French title, outclassing Robert Soderling of Sweden 6-1, 7-6, and 6-4.
Isn't that Joker still playing? Federer?
I don't know.
Because there was one the other day. I'm pretty sure it was Federer that got eliminated first round this year in the French Open.
I think he's number one as far as championships, major titles.
I think so too. Chris Miller, if you're out there listening, is Roger Federer still playing? Text me if you can.
He's 72 years old, man. He's not playing.
Roger Federer's not no 72 years old. Joe Louis was 137 years old when he beat Muhammad Ali. All right, 2014 French Open women's title, Maria Sharapova. That was a pretty Russian lady right there now. Russia wins her 5th Grand Slam singles title, beats Romanian Simona Halep 6-4, 6-7, 6-4. All right.
2018 Stanley Cup Final, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. Washington Capitals beat Las Vegas Golden Knights 4-3 for a 4-1 series victory, first title in franchise history.
Yeah, there's another one.
Interesting stuff in history of sports.
It is. That's some thinkers there.
Got the U.S. Open coming up
Yep.
in Pinehurst
Yep.
this weekend, isn't it? Next weekend?
Not this weekend. Next
weekend. Okay.
No, wait a minute. Yeah, it is next
Yeah,
weekend.
this weekend.
So I think it starts around the
Father's Day.
11th, something like that, Father's Day
Something like
weekend. Have you got his tickets yet?
I told you get tickets. Anywhere you want to, just go get them.
All right. I need a credit card.
You
Though.
can make it 4 tickets, right?
That's true. I'll call them.
Yeah, get them.
I'll call the man. All right, Thomas. I sense that you have some things you want to share with
I
us.
do, man.
just had that
I've got a couple of things. This is David Arias rookie card from Minnesota Twins.
Who that?
David Arias,
Yeah.
Minnesota Twins rookie card, better known as Big Papi.
Okay.
David Ortiz. When he first came out, he was under his. He changed his last name to Ortiz later on. He went by Ortiz. But his rookie card, like back then, you only have 1 or 2 rookie cards. Nowadays, they have 30 or 40. But he came out. So a lot of folks look up David Ortiz and they find David Arias. I've had these through the years. One of my favorites because it is Big Papi's rookie
when I
card.
see the face.
Oh, you can't miss it, right? But you have to know to look for David Arias when you want his rookie card. Also, what was your favorite team, by the way, Chris? Football.
Football, Raiders.
Raiders. I just happen to have something for you here. This is a care package, care of Christopher Rayner, Sports Talk.
Thank you for coming on.
Zamir White. Oh, this is for me.
That is for you from Chris.
Thank you.
But
Yes,
you have to open that up and see what's inside.
Oh, I can see.
And while
what's
he's
inside.
doing that, I'll give you the background here why he's getting that because I'm a slacker at our job that we work at together, a different job, one of my
Tom,
12
there's 2
jobs I
cards
have.
in here.
And so Chris
Oh,
Chris
boy.
very adroitly filled in for me last week, and I appreciate it. I had something come up, you know, one of them other 12 jobs.
All right, come on.
So the key thing there is another rarity, if you will, is a kicker's card.
Ray Guy in there?
Jan Stenerud?
No, not Ray Guy.
Ray Guy?
Ray Guy?
Daniel
How about
Carson.
the current kicker's autograph?
Harrison Butler.
Wow.
You see a lot of
That's-
quarterbacks. You don't see a
That's
lot
our
of
enemy.
kickers,
That's
the
true.
Raiders.
especially autographed. That's for you,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah, I appreciate that, Tom.
How about that?
That's a good one.
Let me show it to the
Oh.
social media world.
They had a great
Yeah, let
defensive
them
back
enjoy
at
it.
one time played there. Jack Tatum. He put the wood on you, buddy.
Well, these are going to go on my little displays.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, they are nice.
Well, Chris, thank you for filling in for me the other day. Tom, thank you for helping me. Thank Chris for filling
Always
in. I
good
appreciate
shit,
it.
buddy.
Thank you.
You're the man. If you want to come up with a card, whether it's obscure, whatever, or a big time card, you'll sell the big time ones too. Won't you? It don't have to be obscure.
I do. We can. I've got a personalized bobblehead of me at home.
Do you?
I might bring that next time.
Is it
Didn't you get your
digitally-
WWE wrestling card?
Oh no,
That
that's on the counter. I have it. My son and I both had one made of us when we went up there.
I need a bobblehead of him. Wouldn't that be neat?
It'd be a big head.
You can order it.
Most bobbleheads, the head is bigger than the rest of the body.
All I need is
like
a
a
picture of
character.
him.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
He's something else. That
Yeah.
boy there is.
So most bobbleheads, the head is bigger by scale. With me, it would be naturally bigger. I just got a big tater. I think it's because my big brain. I got to have a big head.
That's exactly what it is.
exactly right. All right,
Yep.
I'm gonna put you guys on the spot. I want you to think through your card collection. First of all, it doesn't have to be the most expensive. Let's do the most expensive one first. What is your most expensive valued card you have that you know of?
Pete Rose rookie card.
Really?
Let's say it out loud. Pete Rose rookie card.
What
That's
that
my
joker go
favorite.
for?
Yeah,
What's the value
it's
there?
it's
How much is
it's
it worth?
you can find it online now for about 15 to 17K.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah, it's graded 8, so it's
Well,
encapsulated.
don't do the favorite one yet. How about you, Chris? What's your most?
I don't have anything like that. I have
I mean, what would be
Jerry
the most
Rice
value you have?
rookie card.
Ooh, that's
Tom
a good one.
has seen it. It isn't encapsulated correctly now because of Tom. I don't know, probably $50.
Oh, I'm not sure. It
it might
depends.
worth more than
Maybe
that.
a
The
little more
most
than that.
valuable card that I have is
Yes.
driver's license.
That's a one of one.
No, it's your green card.
That's a one
Original.
of one.
All right, what's your favorite card you have, or is that the same one?
The Bo Jackson. He has several bow breakers where he's breaking the bat over his
Nice.
knee. He's got one,
Strong joker,
a
buddy.
scorecard where he's in shoulder pads and
I like it.
has a bat
Yeah.
across the shoulders.
Yep.
And he just had that flair. He was the one that made the outfield catch and then walked the fence, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yes.
You know, like
Yep.
like a skateboarder doing a half pipe.
And him snapping them bats, if you think it's easy, you try doing it.
I'd wanted to go ahead and have a little saw in
You
it first.
try doing it over the style like that.
Now, how long you been collecting, Chris?
Oh, I started as a teenager and I'm 50 years old now. So I took a break while I was in the Marine Corps. So I missed probably 20, 25 years.
Well, thank you for your service. We
so-
appreciate it.
Yes.
Talking about being a teenager, a few years before I was a teenager, I remember, we talked to Tom about this before, having those old NBA 1970 cards, 1970 era
boys.
cards, the tall boys,
Tall boys.
that are worth bucks now.
There's a few
And my
collectors
dumb
that
butt
still
put
like
them
those.
in the spokes of my, bicycle and stuff, and football cards in the 70s that I had, and who knows what happened to them. Probably just lost them or tore them up or something.
Mine got put
Wow.
on bicycle spokes.
Yeah, mine did too. We'd have been better.
There were
to use playing cards for that.
Yeah.
several cards that I think.
So I'll tell you.
And what would be your favorite card?
My favorite card is the 64 tops Pete Rose. That's his second year because that's the first card he's up there by himself, and it has the rookie of the year trophy next to him. So 64 is my favorite set. The Pete Rose card number 125 is my favorite card, and I have maybe 5 or 6 of those graded, encapsulated,
Really?
and a few raw cards. I just like it. It's my favorite.
So what's the top you can get? Is it a 10?
A 10 is the highest you can
And
get.
do you see many 10s?
No, you don't see. That's why they're so valuable. You
So
just,
it's got to be
it's got to be
not
perfect.
just, and people think that when you're talking about the grades, you taught me this before, it's not just the corners or no breaks in it, it's the centering.
Right.
All that
Correct.
stuff.
And there's sometimes you can't control. You get it out fresh out of a pack, there's a manufacturer defect. There's a line in it. It's off centered, and I say, look, we're in 2024. At some point, you got to figure out how to center a card, right? But I love the smell of the old cardboard. The 60s were my favorite decade of cards, but they never go down in value.
Just think,
They never go down.
he should be in the Hall of Fame, and if he
I
was,
agree.
look at the value of that car. How would it go up then?
Would that change it?
Heck
drastically
yeah.
in the Hall of Fame?
Just a little bit, yeah. I'm trying to hold back.
Yeah, he
Do
deserves
you
to be.
think there's
Right.
any hope for that?
Man, I swear, I think every day I'm going to wake up and there's going to be an alert on
Be
my
on the
phone that
news.
says,
Pete Rose.
Pete has been reinstated, because see, he has to be reinstated into the MLB first,
Right.
and then they can waive the 5-year period and put him in effective immediately. So sometimes I dream of that. That's how crazy it is. But do I think it can happen? Yes. With all the sports betting that's going on now and today, and how it's legal, and look, man, we could go back and forth on he betted on his team, but he betted to win.
Right.
This is Charlie
Exactly. That's
Hustle.
right. Exactly.
He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I've been a big advocate. I've signed every online petition for 20 years, and I think he deserves it.
I do too.
His health is not that good, Ashley. We need to make that move soon.
And I think it'll probably happen, but the way people do things nowadays, they'll probably do it after his death.
Probably after his death. I mean, he's 83 now.
Posthumously, yeah. Did you see the picture Brian Bailey sent when he was up in Chantilly
I did, man.
with Pete Rose?
I
Yeah,
did. He did
looks
not look
very,
good.
very feeble. Now, I'm sure you've
Yeah.
been to Chantilly before.
Many times.
Is it as cool as he says it is?
It
Brian
is.
says it's an awesome place to
It's
go.
as a collector, it absolutely. You have the national convention, and then you have other large sites like the Dallas Card Show. That's large. Then you got Chantilly on the East Coast, which is one of the best shows around. They bring in Jerry Rice in Montana, Emmett Smith. They bring in the big names.
Well, now you got a big name coming in on July, right?
July 27th,
Tell us about that one.
Natron, by no means.
The Natron Bomb.
He's going to be there. We're at the Hilton there. It's a couple ballrooms, partition. They open up the partitions. Last time we had 83 tables set up in
Wow.
there. So I'm happy.
Back. We're Wake Forest.
Carolina, baby. It's Tar Heel. And then he went on, of course, play for the Chargers. Did he play in the Super Bowl? with
He
the Chargers?
did, 95.
Yeah. And it was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I'd love to have that copy and be able to get him to sign it.
Well, we can see if we can find that. I mean,
I
I
know
do
you
have
got
a
it
lot of them. You
somewhere.
just never know. It's in a tote
got
or
it
bin
somewhere,
somewhere, man.
So he'll be up at the show in you just said it.
Greenville.
They're the Greenville Convention Center.
It's next to the convention center. It's at the Hilton, and it is Saturday, July 27th. He'll be there approximately 11 to 1 for about a 2-hour period.
All right. We're gonna do we need to take a break, or we're actually done? If we need to go ahead and go.
No, but you're 20 minutes. You said 20 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay. A couple more things before we go. Now, that show, will he be signing stuff for free, or will there be a charge for his?
So that's on me. Right now, I'm going.
Look at you being nice to the world
I'm
there.
vacillating on this.
You're vacillating.
I am.
Well, I thought you were going. Okay.
I am. So
That's the SAT word.
that word, we'll find out as we get closer to that event. But don't forget, we've got the Jacksonville Mall Show this month, here in a couple
Okay.
weeks.
So tell us the ones before we go. Tell us the ones coming up. You got Goldsboro this weekend.
Tomorrow, Saturday, June 8th, is the Goldsboro Show at the Goldsboro Event Center.
Uh-huh.
And then
Are you going to that show, Chris?
I'll be in Florida.
Oh, that's right. You guys are getting ready. to
He's
head
out of town.
That's right.
Catch the next one at the mall, June 28th through 30th. 3-day show. We've been doing the mall shows for 3 years now, and we get 3 days. You'll have 58 tables approximately set up throughout the mall. 3-day show is very good. So because not everybody can make Saturday. So if you can make a Friday or Sunday, come on out and see us. I will say June 8th, Goldsboro. June 28th, Jacksonville. July 27th, Greenville.
So that's the next 3 coming up.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Good lineup there. Thank you for being with us today, Thomas Hatchel.
Pleasure.
Chris Robertson, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
You love the card world, don't you?
I do.
And the collectible world. And do you collect anything other than cars, like bobbleheads, or is it just
I've
whatever
seen
comes
his
up?
house. So name
Is
something.
it a shrine?
What is it? Go ahead.
I've got comic books. I've got Legos. I've got what are those? The anime, the Japanese anime figures. But I don't have huge collections. I've just got a small collection of each.
Was there Star Wars in there?
I have some Star Wars.
I got some Star Wars cards, but they're all been played with and push pin holes in them like
I've
a
got
dummy.
old
Yep.
records.
Stuff like that.
So
Now, what's that old motorcycle you got?
I've got a 2000 Harley Davidson Springer.
And it's a motorcycle. It's not for everybody, is it?
It
It's
is
a little
not.
harder to ride.
Probably for a beginner, yes.
Is it true that it might be going on the market,
Yes.
or is that just your wife saying that?
I would say yes.
Okay.
To the right buyer. I don't want a young rider to have something like
Right.
that. It's
Or
probably
the
not
right
for them,
person.
but the right
Yeah.
person, yes.
So if you're interested in something like that, you can always. A lot of people know my number. They can text me and everything, and I'll put you on to Chris. Chris is like, I'm not ready to sell it yet, but for the right price, it would go, wouldn't it?
Right.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys once again for being with us. Thank you, Ashley, for being with us.
Always fun, buddy.
As always, Sports Talk is powered by, well, not always, this is the first week, the Jacksonville Ospreys. Thank you all for coming on as a sponsor. Make sure you go out and check out the Ospreys. They got a really, not a good guy, but a guy that talks a lot, that does their play-by-play on their streaming
Very
network.
knowledgeable about sports.
I
Well,
saw him.
He really is.
If he doesn't know it, he makes it
He's
up.
becoming a legend.
I saw him
in
in
my
opening
conference.
night.
You know what? Hey, I heard he's a real jerk.
He can be.
Oh, can he?
Jerk.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Ospreys, Onslow County Motor Company, Fountain Management, Sandra Fountain, Bartley Insurance Services, Bill Mercer, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning. Make sure you get those air conditioners checked because that hot weather's a coming. CNS Paint, Rock Creek Golf and Country Club, Golden Corral, Lane Associates Family Dentistry, Doctors Tommy and Kim Morgan, Jones Onslow EMC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, Barnes Diamond Gallery, National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Bayshore Animal Hospital. Once again, their new location is now open at 623 East Sabiston Drive in Swansboro. And, of course, Southern Touch Painting, Roger Carroll in the gang. Special thanks to Helen's Kitchen for feeding the Sports Talk crew today. The Wood Ducks Report is powered by Downey's Heating and Air, and Jason Humphrey is always awesome. He sponsors something every week, no matter what. Wood Duck season is now. Hurricane season starts June 1st. Keep your eyes open to the tropics.
June 1st.
Well, it did.
Oh, that's right.
That hurricane season.
That hurricane season.
Yeah, one hurricane season ends.
Yeah,
and
go
another
by
one
and
comes
see
in.
you folks at Humphrey Heating and Air, man. If you need a generator, moisture area, get ready for the storm season. Williams Hardware, little locally owned hardware store,
Yep.
been there forever. Dennis Foster and those folks do a good job over there. Good deal.
And our racing report is sponsored by Onslow County Motor Company. Ben Beasley in the gang. They can hook you up about whatever kind of ride you want, a good quality used vehicle down there. Do want to mention, too, I'm running to Miss Sherry. Do you know Miss Sherry at the Piggly Wiggly in Richlands? The deli manager?
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
our sponsor for
Oh, yeah.
other stuff, not sports talk, but other stuff. But she was telling me that
Merle Bowl.
Merle Bowls are awesome. Everything they got is awesome.
It is
there.
good.
Their vittles are good. Their normal meals. They have seafood dinner tonight, seafood and T-bone steaks tonight.
How about that?
So you might have to hit that on the way home
Oh,
tonight.
yeah.
But she was also telling me they do those big trays and the catering stuff for the like graduation parties and stuff coming up. So I told her I'd mention that on there since they're one of our sponsors, and we do appreciate her.
I stop
So-
in there right much. It is good food.
It's good grub. Good grub. That's why I look like I do, because I eat there 3 times a day. All right, that's it. We appreciate everything, you guys. Come out and check out the show this weekend in Goldsboro, and we'll give you more details every week on the one coming up in Jacksonville and then the one, of course, in Greenville. That's it for Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.